nightmare.
Hello and welcome to Cinema Subculture, the podcast where we discuss everything strange, obscure, and downright messed up in the world of movies. My name's Gary.
And I'm Simon.
This is episode 35. We are discussing New Year's Evil from 1980, directed by Emmett Alston.
So, Gary, do you want to give us a bit of a rundown of the synopsis of New Year's Evil? Sorry, New Year's Evil.
It is New Year's Eve. I'm forgetting where it's actually set.
I think it's set in California.
California, right?
Yeah.
And we've got Blaze, who's I think sort of a live music host type thing, presenter,
Yeah.
personality, and it's a big new wave punk party to bring in the new year. But then she gets a phone call from a sinister character.
Oh.
What's his name?
Evil.
Yep, saying he's going to do some bad stuff on the strike of midnight.
Sure. That's great. That's plenty, Gary.
Yeah.
That's plenty. So, this film, directed by Emmett Alston.
Mm.
Have you heard of Emmett
I
Alston?
looked up his filmography.
Sure.
Nothing I'd heard of.
I think the last film he did was like Three Ninjas
Right.
film. A Three Ninjas film.
Mm.
Yeah.
Only made 7 films,
Right,
I
right.
think.
Okay.
So it's another film that puns on the evil thing,
Oh, yeah.
following on from Christmas Evil,
Oh, yes.
which I
yes.
thought it might be like
A sequel?
not a sequel, but just ripping off that idea.
Mm,
But I looked up
see-
the release dates, and Christmas Evil was November 1980, and this was December.
Oh,
So quite close to
yeah.
a rip-off, so I don't know if they had the same idea at the same time. It's a great pun, isn't it?
That is a
So,
good pun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gold.
Can't beat that. Let's just dive in. What did you think of the film?
I've seen worse slashers, I'd say. It was alright. I think it was sort of solidly put together, but it was lacking a kind of creativity, anything interesting about it. It had a kind of clean, sanitised, maybe,
Yeah.
quality. It was nothing particularly nasty or to make it kind of raise an eyebrow.
Mhm.
I found myself laughing at parts. There's some good dialogue moments and stuff. The whole motivation of the killer is a little, well, the thing killing people on New Year's and the strike at midnight is kind of a bit thin in itself, and then there's like the kind of muddled motivations.
What's it he says to her when he's admitting to her in the lift why he's done it?
Yeah, that's actually a bit troubling because it becomes kind of like a nasty kind of misogynist thing.
There's a line he says to her.
Women. Or,
No. Sorry. It's like I don't know. Like it's like really, it's like one of those like kind of I'm pissed off.
Right.
Like just something like really kind of.
It's the thing in the network. You ever seen that?
I've not seen it. I know of it, but I've never seen it.
I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. Is that it?
I think that's what it was. I think so. Let me just.
That's right. I'm evil.
Why? I'm
Because I'm fed up.
So yeah, like there's the line when when he's admitting it's pretty cheesy. I'm fed up.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I think kind of took a
So
turn
yeah, you're
unnecessary.
talking.
Sort of, it becomes a thing about railing against powerful women, which is a bit unnecessary, it seems. But
Kind
scrambling
of
for
weird,
something.
like like that to be the motive of the kill, given how women are presented within the rest of the film. None of them seem to be particularly powerful or with it. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, Blaze,
right.
she seems to be like this kind of punk quotation marks icon.
Right.
Who behind the scenes seems to be just putting it on. To be honest, and kind of seems to be at the whim of like our manager and the people that put on the show
I guess
and stuff.
like she's a kind of professional, and the thing at the start we are talking about the absent father who's like passed out in coke or something.
Yes.
Can't get him on the phone.
Talking about absent, what's the deal with the son? What was his story like? like the scenes with him with the stocking on his head and stuff like that seemed quite out of place to me.
I thought it was maybe like a red herring type
Right,
thing
right,
to see who the killer was. But,
right. But we see who the killer is from the start. From the first murder, we see who the killer is.
Is that after the scene like where he first comes in though? Because
That's after the first one. Oh yeah,
what's the
definitely.
first one?
First one's the nurse in the hospital.
Is that after that?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Oh,
I only know that because I started watching it again today, and
Right.
that's where it was from.
Right,
And
okay.
the first murder really
Right.
happened. So
because I thought from that early scene that you're setting up. He's got a chip in his shoulder.
yeah, well, I mean, I thought that was fairly set up with the way she was being with him.
Aye.
You know, ignoring him when he had like got cast in
Yeah.
the show. And what was it? Space time band.
Is it? Right.
I don't know. sorry, sorry, Derek, I wasn't listening. But yes, I thought it was kind of set up there. You know, you got enough, and he was kind of being weird then already.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know, I don't know if we needed the scene with it. It was a bit of it was a red herring, but again, given the fact we'd already seen the murderer, we didn't know who that was. That,
Yeah.
you know, that was an interesting bit that I didn't necessarily see coming. That was
Right.
going to be our husband.
When the twist happened, it was like,
That's what I got. Yeah, like I didn't know. I
Right.
didn't think that was what was happening. But oh well. He's got quite an elaborate mo. You know, disguise himself. You know, his disguises are quite. You know, it's like what? You know, it seems like a lot of bother to go to it till then. Kind of messes himself up at the end. You know, when he says to the cop, "Oh, I contacted our manager to get into the hotel."
right.
Seems like, you know, he had a fake moustache at one point.
Yeah.
You don't just come across those,
I know,
Gary.
he
You've
gives
not
up
got
the
one-
end, he's got the tracksuit on. Like, where's the effort?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you don't just have like a fake moustache sitting about the house.
Mm.
You know,
Mhm.
that takes planning.
Right.
So I mean, to let himself be tripped up at the end,
Right.
it's a shame, you know.
Yeah.
And why did he dress up as the priest?
Um,
Because was it? Yeah.
I don't know. That's a pretty good disguise, though.
Oh,
for a-
I mean,
a
yeah,
killer,
it's better than the fake
aye.
mustache, which looked pretty fake. Yeah, so he seemed to have quite a, you know, he went to quite, and he dressed up as a doctor, and he went to the whole thing. Oh yeah, I'm new here, and
Mhm.
you know, hey baby, and that was the line at the beginning that got me. Her saying, like, I've only just met you, and he's like, what does that matter? Nothing, not tonight. What the hell? It was pretty funny. But yeah, I thought it was funny, and I think it's got some rewatchability, but pretty cheesy. Again, I've seen worse. But like generally the worst, they have more. You know, gore. They go for the gore, you know, or something, you know, that sets it
Right,
apart.
yeah.
Whereas this is a bit kind of meh.
Mm.
Where it's kind of, I mean, even like down to the thing of like, here comes the killer's knife. Wait a minute, it's a flip knife, it's a
Alright.
tiny little knife. I mean, even kind of rip it a little bit when the punks are trying to get into the hotel later on,
Right.
and the guy
Yeah.
brings out the comb knife, and
Right,
it's
okay.
kind of, you know, yeah, we know that's. It just seems like a puny little knife to have
Yeah.
for all the planning he's done. Don't know. The conversation with the two blondes in the car was pretty good.
Mhm.
When the one's saying about the transcendental meditation
Right.
and how it cured her pal's explosive diarrhea,
Right.
that was funny. But that bit was like, well, he sends the one into the shop to get the most expensive bottle of champagne that she can get. I think she pays like $6 or something
Right.
for one. Right, but then like how did he know she was going to go to that
Oh,
dumpster?
that's amazing. That was the best part of the film.
It's when she opens it and he goes,
Yeah, he leaves a trail though.
Oh,
He
sure.
leaves a couple of shoes.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. And she takes ages to open it. And then reverse shot, he's there with a lighter.
When the cops find their bodies later, and they find the one with the bag, with the bag of hash over her face, And that's fine. Another one goes, wait, what's that over there? And they go over to the chute, and then just as they get to the chute, the body slides down backwards down on the chute. It's like, how the hell did he do that? It's like, I think he was just there, boss.
Right.
Oh, it was just timing perfect.
Yeah. I think it went for a disguise rather than the mask for the killer,
Yeah,
which is maybe just makes it less
Was it-
intriguing or interesting.
Was he not wearing the mask
Yeah,
at the
he wears the
beginning as
mask a
well?
couple of times.
Yeah.
Like at the start and the end.
Yeah,
But,
it seems like they kind of wussed out of it a little bit.
mm, mm. Maybe it's because he was a handsome fellow, and
Yeah.
the actor was like, "Get my face on the screen."
All right, but you're gonna have to wear a fake mustache.
Right.
I'm just saying. Yeah, I guess so. It just seemed a little a bit of shame, especially with the kind of they went hardcore with it at the end, with the son wearing it at the end.
Aye.
You know,
Mhm.
with the kind of pseudo sequel setup.
Right. Aye.
Yeah. Would you say this was how do you think this stacks up against the other holiday themed one horrors, excluding like Halloween, because obviously
Right,
it was
okay.
kind of like the first one.
Um,
I suppose Friday the 13th, but it's not really a holiday. But
in my opinion, there's none of them that are that great anyway.
Mm.
So it's kind of
oh,
in the mix. But
I mean, I think no, I don't know whether I preferred this to Christmas Evil or not.
it was a bit more solid and less kind of Christmas Evil. It had interesting stuff in it, but it was kind
Mhm.
of all over the place.
Yeah.
I felt tonally in that. But I'd probably say that was a better film, just because.
Yeah, I think so as well. I still need to watch that again,
Yeah,
but I
this
think
became just a bit dull.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
yeah.
felt. It was like, you know, you've not really got anything to
Mm.
say. Like when you have to watch it, it's kind of that's it, isn't it? It's
Mm.
just yeah.
Maybe if the kills had been better executed, because I think some of it felt like a lot of build up.
Yeah, yeah.
And they weren't really. I just
Like-
mean like in terms of.
The girl that gets away and stuff, like, you know, I mean that made sense in the story what happened, but there's the girl that gets away from him, and it just seemed to not really go anywhere. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I personally I preferred April Fool's Day.
Oh
this.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's alright.
because it knew what it was being. It
Right.
was taking it was taking a pop at itself, I think.
Mm.
Haven't seen Happy Birthday yet.
Happy birthday to me.
Yeah,
Is it right?
yeah,
No, I've
yeah.
not seen that either.
It's not really a holiday one. but-
Right. So you got
Um,
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It was all right. I would. I had more going on, I think, than
Right.
this. And it's got the cheesiness of the Christmas. I don't feel they used the New Year'sness
Yeah, I was going to
Like,
say that.
to its best
Um,
potential. I like the setup of the, you know, killing people in the different time
Right, okay.
zones. It may have been like nowadays if they were going to do it, like they would probably do it with like, they would have like a murder in every state as it came, you know,
Right.
and it would build this thing. They would do this,
Mhm.
and it would probably be more of a thriller rather than
Right.
a slasher. But so that setup was interesting, you know. But
yeah, I guess so for New Year, it's just a big party, and then you've got the reception of the countdown, so it's not a lot that kind of defines it.
I guess so. It just seems rife, you know, with all the kind of drinking and
Yeah.
drugs and sex and things like that. You know, like it seems like rife for
Mm.
like they could have maybe done more. But like none of the punks at the party seem to get killed. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like, you know, they seem to be. It's almost like a kind of like Dick Clark's Broken Eve type thing, but like with fake punk.
Right.
You know,
Aye.
like did that like. I mean, I'm not as versed in American punk as I maybe should be, but like, is that something that would have happened in the 80s, like a punk phone in?
um.
I mean, it doesn't seem like, and none of the
Yeah.
music I don't think was punk, was it?
Well, I guess it was kind of more metally
Yeah.
in places, but
And having like they've got Blaze is like a mum, like a middle aged mum,
aye.
as like the kind of the icon, the punk icon. It doesn't seem like, you know, I don't know. It doesn't seem very.
No, I guess so. Though.
Representative of-
Thinking like, what's the hot music?
Yeah,
of the day?
I guess so.
The
I
kids
guess
listen to?
they could have said anything, couldn't they? Well, it's more glam rock, really, isn't it?
I bet, yeah. Yeah.
Mm. But I don't know. It seemed like a waste of a kind of set piece, like with all these the bands and the people. They never really used it other than to have like. And that was the thing. When I was watching it, like right at the beginning, I was like you were saying, they play the New Year's Evil theme tune at the
Yeah.
beginning, which is a pretty catchy tune.
Right.
I like that. In the credits, but then they play it like 5 minutes later in the film. So there's a lot of times when I was like, so we're just going to watch this whole song, and I was thinking he's turned like a 40-minute television movie, like a Murder She Wrote, into like a 90-minute film almost.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Aye.
Like, because there's a lot of like, these musical interludes that
Yeah.
just like.
No, it's even only like 82 minutes or something.
Right,
Yeah,
aye. So, but it just felt like a lot of times when we're like, all right, so we're not going to do anything with the story or the characters. We're
Right.
just going to have, and like, there's more characterization for like evil than there is for any of the other characters. You know what I mean? It's like we kind of follow him most of the movie,
Aye.
which I wasn't really expecting, because especially when you don't see his face at the beginning, very clear. You just see the kind of mouthpiece thing, and then straight away. Well, not straight away, because you see him at the hospital, but you don't realise it's him at first. I guess, but you know it's him. I'm pretty sure. I knew it was him. Was he wearing a fake moustache there as well?
No, I don't think so.
No, just a pair of scrubs.
Yeah.
A name badge. Did he have a name badge?
Probably.
Yeah.
A bag.
Oh, that's what sold it.
Right.
Why would he need a bag
A
for
massage.
if he wasn't one of the doctors? A massager? Did you say there?
No, I said the man satchel.
So yeah, it's a pretty like plain, kind of bland slasher.
Yeah.
I would say. I mean, yeah. What was it? 80 it came out? 81?
Mhm.
80?
80.
Mm. I mean, it was amongst the first of the kind of slasher clones. Yeah,
Mm.
first run of them. How many had been out? Do you think by then? Unlike most of like the like like slashers of the kind of 70s, 80s, it doesn't really follow many of the tropes of like the kind of Italian horror. You know, the giallo. I don't, it doesn't really have that, like the hidden murder or anything like that. It has the kind of setup for it. I feel, it's a famous person who's being targeted, but it doesn't really follow through on it.
You've got Prom Night 1980, My Bloody Valentine 81, Happy Birthday to Me 81, Mother's Day, Hell Night, Graduation Day 81, New Year's Evil, well, this is 82, listed, but I think that's UK.
Right,
States.
okay.
Silent Night, Deadly Night 84, Home Sweet Home 85. Yeah, so it's quite early. Same year as Friday the 13th.
Yeah, and when you see it like kind of up against like something like Friday the 13th, it's tame for one.
Aye.
And it's not very high in quality, I wouldn't say.
Only other thing, I think it's got a rip from Suspiria as well on the
Okay.
soundtrack.
Oh, right.
It's Suspiria that does that thing that's like that's Suspiria, is that deep red there?
It does. Suspiria does it, I'm pretty sure, but I kind of thought it was more of a kind of takeoff on Friday the 13th.
That sound.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
You know how
Does
they
it as well?
like they do the kind of.
Oh, right, okay. Is
Oh,
that
it's
what I'm
Slurpee.
thinking of? It's,
Yeah.
I think it's
Suspiria
Argento
did
film,
it.
right,
Yeah,
does it as
Argento did
well?
do
Right,
it, but it
okay,
was different. I think it may have been Deep Red, actually, now you say that.
right.
I need to watch them again, I can't
Okay.
remember, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely lost it from somewhere.
Yeah, Friday the 13th is the kind of. It's apparently the. Like, it's Kill Them Mommy, right?
Right,
And
okay.
it's the K and the M.
Mm.
And apparently, like, when they
Oh,
were
yeah.
listening to this dialogue, of Betty Russell. No, what's her name? Betty Palmer. When they were listening to Mrs. Voorhees say that in the dialogue back, they quite liked the M and the K. So
Right,
they,
okay.
it's the K.
Right.
So yeah, that's what it reminded me of more than anything else. But yeah, I don't think there was anything particularly original about it.
No.
But although some of the dialogue did seem very knowingly tongue in cheek.
Right, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It was very kind of. we're not taking this too seriously
Mm.
anyway. So I don't know. I'm fed up
Right.
with this film, Gary. um, yeah, I think they need some more quality New Year's horror films.
Yes.
I don't think they're really. It was Terror Train set at New Year.
Was it right?
I think I heard that somewhere. So I've not seen Terror Train, but it was probably better than this. I'm going to go to the limb and say that. Okay, hold on, let me check that out and find it. On a weird note, they have just announced a Blu-ray release
Yeah,
of
I saw
this.
that. Scream Factory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know if we'll get anything more watching it in high definition. Some of the special features might be interesting though.
Could be.
Yeah. Roger Ebert said about this film, he gave it 1.5 stars or whatever out of 5, I think it is it? Or was it a 4 they did?
Don't know.
Can't remember. He gave it 1.5.
Right.
Even if it's out of 3, it's still pretty bad. He wrote, New Year's Evil is an endangered species, a plain old-fashioned gory thriller. It is not very good. It is sometimes unpleasantly bloody. The plot is dumb, and the twist at the end has been borrowed from thousands of other movies. But as thrillers go these days, New Year's Evil is a throwback to an older and simpler tradition, one that flourished way back in the dimly remembered past before 1978. So he's kind of saying that it's not necessarily inspired by things like Halloween and more inspired. I suppose you could see maybe the inspiration to like Psycho and things, with the mother thing with the son. But I mean, that's not even. I mean, I wouldn't say that was the main. It's not the main motive for the character that's the murder. It's definitely him being pushed down by women. But I suppose maybe is with Norman Bates, but I always took it more to be the mother.
Mm.
In the weird relationship they had, but yeah. What else can you say, Gary?
Yeah, I think sort of slasher fans will watch this anyway.
Yeah,
and they'll probably enjoy it. Alright, it's not the worst of the bunch, but outside of that, I think it's not necessarily something to seek out.
No, it's one that's worth a watch if you are a slasher fan, definitely. At least once, probably just once, unless you need to watch holiday themed slashers every holiday.
Mm-hmm. Right, okay, I think that will sum us up for New Year's Evil. So
now it's time for some random shit.
Random shit.
So hello and welcome to Random Shit. So we gonna talk about some Christmas pickups.
Sure.
Yeah. I didn't get loads this year. It's kind of actually lighten on the Blu-rays, but I got a few interesting items. I got the Batman 66 complete TV show,
right,
the limited edition collector's edition with the Batmobile and
is it actually released?
Oh, aye.
Because okay.
There's a button on the side that you press and it goes
okay.
na.
So you have it in your hands. Yeah.
I have it in my room. Aye.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice set. Like it's like hard cardboard. It's hardboard.
Okay.
It's not like flimsy at all, which you can sometimes get with these big like sets. It's kind of magnetic flaps in the front,
right?
That flap up.
Okay.
And then the 3 seasons are within there with there's a book and things and a picture book, Adam West scrapbook.
Right.
There's also some playing cards. Well, I don't know if it's playing cards or if it's like baseball cards.
Right,
yeah. I've not opened them yet, but I had the little Batmobile out though just to have a look at it. It's pretty cool.
Right.
Transfers are unbelievable. They're so nice. Yeah, I was a tiny bit worried when I first put it in. First episode comes on, and it's showing you around about Gotham City. The voiceover comes over and things. But then I was like, "Oh, this is stock footage."
Right, okay,
yeah,
right.
but it still looks pretty decent for stock footage. But then once it cuts to the show,
right,
it's really really good. The colours are unbelievable and looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it's only a mono soundtrack. There was a bit of complaint about this when it was first announced.
Right.
But it's quite a high bit rate and it's not mono stereo. It's mono on both channels.
Right. Okay.
If you know what I mean. So it's not like a mono track that has been split up and separated onto 2 channels
Right, okay.
and given like half the bit rate. It's like the full bit rate
Right.
on. I can't remember. Someone explained it to me once. Hold on. Basically, I think they haven't like pushed half of it left and half of it right. They've just put it all down the center. So it sounds really good. Anyways, it's a decent bit rate for like 1 channel of audio,
Right.
which is what the original was. There has been some issues with the release. The Warner Brothers have announced that there was some mistakes, omissions from the episodes. I think part of the voiceover at one of the episodes is missing at the beginning, and also there's little villain stings at the end of most of the episodes,
Right.
that tell you who's going to be in the next week's episode, and that has been missing. So Warner Brothers have given a disc replacement program, and I wasn't sure if the UK qualified for this, but they do. That's all set up and everything. You can just give them the barcode number and things like that off your set. I think no. They're just going to say new discs. I think it's discs 1 and 5 that are being replaced on the Blu-ray set. And they're also doing it for the DVD set as well. So that's pretty good on the Warner Brothers. I remember that, was it Inception? I think there was an error on one of the discs, and I just filled out a form and they just sent me it, like, there was none of this send back a disc or so yeah, but unbelievable set, really gorgeous. I watched the first episode. I usually put all my Blu-rays in to try them, make sure they're working, when I get them, kind of thing, in case I need to go back or whatever. And I started watching the first episode, and I've always had a soft spot in my heart for it. And I knew I would I knew I would enjoy watching it. But I was actually surprised at how into it I got.
Right, okay.
Like, especially that first episode, it's really quite, like, there is obviously tongue in cheek, but I get the humour more now than I did when I was younger. But there's like a lot of like back gadgets that, that kind of makes sense. Like they're scoping out a place, they climb up the wall, and there's a lot of banter. Like, they're talking about trying to get a riddle, and Batman throws the batarang up, which looks pretty convincing. And Robin's like, yeah, I wish I could get that riddle. As he ties his arm around the rope, getting ready to climb, and then he starts to climb, and then it skips to the up the wall thing, which obviously looks kind of funny now. But and then Batman says, maybe you're just distracted by that cute teenager that winked at you on the way over. It's just it's really cool. And then they use like a laser to cut the guards in the window and stuff. It's just really just Batman. It's really, really awesome. So yeah, that's a good pickup. I got there's a set called, or Blu-ray called, Memoirs from Crystal Lake.
Okay.
It's about Friday the 13th, the series. It's like a 2-disc Blu-ray set, but it's based on, there was a coffee table book that was released, I think 90s or early 2000s. It was like basically pictures and stories about the series, and they made that into like a documentary, which goes over like 2 discs. So I've not watched that yet, but quite excited about that. I got Star Wars Blu-ray set.
Okay.
Wanted it for a while. You're not a big fan of Star Wars films, are you?
No.
Nah, I'm the original ones. The new ones are rubbish. But, that goes without saying. Did you see the trailer for the new one?
I did actually see it. Yeah, I didn't watch it online. I ended up just seeing it in the cinema. Yeah.
Very exciting.
Is it
right? But yeah, I think that's all I've got. Like, got some money and stuff like that, so I'll probably pick up some more stuff. But what about yourself?
I got the Kelly Reichardt collection that came out from Soda Pictures. It's the first 3 films. Quite cool. I got That Sinking Feeling, the Bill Forsyth film from the BFI, Scottish film. I got Whiskey Galore. Put that out. I think it's Studio Canal. And I got REM, the TV collection box set. It's quite cool. Just a bunch of like MTV footage from my whole career.
Right.
Like a 6-disc box set. That's
but in Blu-ray,
Nah, it's just DVD. So what about any viewing over the festive period, Simon? Have you partook any?
Yeah, I had a whole plan for lots of films I wanted to watch that I'd watch every year, kind of thing. But it came to the point, and I was looking for something that I hadn't seen before. So I'd seen that Holiday Inn had been released on Blu-ray finally, which is a film that I've been looking for the last couple of years to get a release. After seeing like White Christmas and being a wee bit disappointed in its lack of Christmassy feeling,
All right.
in my opinion. I don't know. There was just something about it. It really didn't feel Christmassy to the end. To me, and I don't know. I don't know what it was about it. It just didn't sit the way I was hoping it would sit. I mean, it wasn't bad, but
Right.
it just didn't make me feel
Okay.
the way that I wanted it to feel. Right? And I think because the version of White Christmas in that film isn't the version that I know in my head,
Right, aye.
which is the version from Holiday Inn.
Yes.
So watched Holiday Inn, and I really enjoyed that film. I thought
Right.
that was really good, light, fun, just kind of interesting. But I thought there was more character depth to Big Cosby's character in that than there was in.
White Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I felt there was more to him, and I like Fred Astaire, and
Right.
everybody was really good in it. And even though there's a bit of racism in the middle of it, there's a wee
Aye.
bit kind of oofed. That's a bit.
Right.
But it was fine, you know what I mean. And I think I preferred the songs as well. And
Really?
yeah,
I think the songs are better integrated into the story in what Holiday Inn, because that's the kind of one problem I have with White Christmas is
I think-
some of just feel like they're trying to pander to a modern audience,
Yeah.
that they don't fit within the story. But I think I prefer White Christmas overall.
I felt that with the songs were more, as you said, integrated into the story, and there was less weirdly enough with Fred Astaire being in it, there was less like strictly dance numbers.
Right.
There's a lot of dancing in White Christmas. I felt there was like,
Right.
but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done, and I do prefer that version of the White Christmas
Aye.
song much better. And I'd always seen the video for that and seen
Right.
it and didn't know the context of it
Mm.
necessarily. I thought, why is she wearing a dressing gown?
Right.
She's wearing a robe there. That's what's going on.
Right.
But never know, you know. And I thought the comedy worked pretty well and things like that. So it made me feel really Christmassy. And then on Christmas Eve, I got up at 8:30 in the morning. I watched Die Hard.
All right.
Promised myself I'd watch that this year.
Right.
I hadn't watched it in years, so it's a good old Christmas film. That.
Does it count though?
Oh, that counts.
Does it?
It has like Christmas music in the opening
Right.
and in the credits,
Okay. Now,
and they're at a
as
Christmas party.
granted, I've
and it's
not
Christmas
seen
Eve.
Die Hard. I've only seen it once, maybe
Right.
5 years ago. But this is what I would say.
That's the first time you saw it.
Aye.
Holy shit! Right.
This is what I would say qualifies a film a Christmas film.
Right.
Set at Christmas, obviously,
Fun.
and Christmas is an integral part of the plot or the themes of the film.
Yeah, that's it. Right.
Is it?
Aye. Well, it was an integral part of the plot because he's invited for Christmas to LA by his wife to see his family at Christmas, and they're having a Christmas party in the Nagatomi.
Yeah, but that you don't see
Plaza.
that.
You do see it. What
What
do you
is
don't see? What don't you see?
All right,
You see the Christmas party? They're
Is
having
it, do you?
It's a Christmas party.
but it's basically just a hostage action movie. It happens to be at Christmas. And it's just a bit of a plot device, or he was coming home.
What was the other thing he said? So it has to take place Christmas.
Christmas
Has
part
to
of
be
the story.
right. So
or-
it is right.
Right.
Right. Right.
To me, it feels it could be set any time of year. But it just happens to be.
Sure.
Let's make it Christmas.
Right. But couldn't you say that about any Christmas film? I don't know.
Well, see, the one that may be controversial is like It's a Wonderful Life. Not really a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's only really the kind of last
But then,
session.
same with White Christmas. It's set every holiday. You know what I mean? So it could be called any holiday. It could be called Valentine's Day.
White Christmas.
Not White Christmas. I meant sorry. White Christmas as well, but Holiday Inn. But you know.
Possibly, yeah.
You know. But It's a Wonderful Life starts. It appears at least in winter,
Yeah.
and then ends in winter. So.
Aye.
But you're not going to argue that that's not a Christmas film.
Yeah.
But no, Die Hard counts. Definitely
okay.
counts. It's Chris, like, come on out. Hey, you know, have a good day. No, it is the whole
Right.
line and thing. Cut that. No. So, and we also watched It's a Wonderful Life on Christmas Eve. And when me and my wife went to Iceland for our anniversary, and we watched Home Alone on the plane.
Right, okay.
So,
What
about you?
Yeah, I'd planned to watch like a bunch,
Mm.
but I just ran out of time and couldn't get enough time.
You watch any?
No, I watched a few. Arthur Christmas. It's a
Okay.
favourite of mine.
Yeah, yeah.
That's great.
I've not seen it.
Right, okay. The Aardman animation from
Ah,
like
yeah, yeah,
3
yeah.
or 4 years ago. I picked up. I don't know if you heard of the Rankin and Bass animation.
Yeah,
The kind of puppets.
They did.
and that.
Did they not do like, Rudolph? And
Rudolph,
stuff?
I watched
Yeah.
that one.
What was that like?
It's quite cool. It's quite childish.
Is it
and
not a bit trippy?
A wee bit, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it is quite strange looking. All the little puppets in that. But yeah, I quite liked it. Holiday Affair was quite good.
Right.
It's Robert Mitchum. And it's got Janet Leigh, and she's a single mother trying to raise her son, and then she's gonna marry this guy she doesn't really like, and then big Robert Mitchum comes in.
Right.
Yeah, saves the day.
And how is that a Christmas film?
Because it's set at Christmas.
That's one point.
Aye,
Is Christmas pivotal to the
pretty much, yeah.
like Bruce Willis in it shooting films?
It has not. It's got. Aye.
Right. Okay. You give me Die Hard. I'll give you that. One.
Right.
So Gary, where do we go in 2015?
To the top.
To the top of
To the
what?
top, Johnny.
Of what?
What?
Of what?
To the top most to the poppermost. It's a John Lennon thing.
All right. Okay. So I think that about wraps us up for this episode, Gary. What will we be doing next episode?
Shall we do zombie flesh eaters?
Oh, that's a biggie.
Mm.
That's one I've been thinking about doing for a long
Right,
time. Mm-hmm. Nah. let's
No,
not do it,
right.
no. No, that sounds good. So we'll be doing zombie flesh eaters when we return. Anything else you want to say to people? Right. Check us out on Facebook.
Yes.
It
We have a
is.
Facebook page,
Yep.
facebook.com/cinema subculture,
We also have a WordPress page.
which is blogspot.com.
We also have a Blogspot page, not a WordPress.
Right.
Well,
I can't remember the
well,
address.
We also have a blog which we'll link to on our Facebook page because we can't remember the address at the
Yep.
moment.
You can check out my top 10 Blu-rays of
Oh, yeah.
2014.
Yeah.
You want to see that?
Yeah, I think that's about it, Gary. So join us on the next episode. Thanks for listening, and bye.